Welcome to Social Media with Lacey J. Wow, there is so much content that goes out on social media. Like, where does all this content come from? Oh, you're a content creator and it's your job to create this much content? How do we make this easier for you? Okay, let's talk about how we can repurpose content in a simple way that makes your content creation process easier. Let's do it. One of the biggest pieces that you need to be thinking about as a content creator in order to have content that's repurposable is starting with long form content. Now, what do I even mean by long form? Okay, there's a lot of debate in all of the articles about what long form means. So let's talk about what it means to us. First of all, for video content, anything around that 10-minute mark is considered long form video. Under 10 minutes is still considered somewhat short form, but you hit that 10-minute mark and over, that's long form video. Now, what about from a writing standpoint, written content, a blog, an article, etc.? Anything over 700 words is considered long form content. So if you can start as a content creator with long form content, you have so many options to repurpose for social media. Let's talk about a few different ways. First off, if it's video that you've got long form video, you've got something 10 minutes or longer, one thing that you can obviously do is cut your long form video into segments you can repurpose on social media. So let's go platform by platform, what that might look like. First of all, for TikTok, videos can be up to 3 minutes. This is actually pretty long for social media standards. So TikTok, you can go up to 3 minutes, take your 10-minute video, you've got 3 TikTok videos out of that. Fantastic. Let's talk Instagram. On Instagram, you can consider keeping your content under a minute. You have the ability to upload content that's longer than a minute, but the best performing content on Instagram, even from an informational standpoint, is under a minute long. So you can create quite a few different Instagram posts just from your one long form video. Okay, for Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, around 45 seconds is appropriate on those channels. Now, when you're thinking about dimensions for how you're going to cut those video segments into content for social, 9:16 works great for TikTok and Instagram, but you can think a bit more horizontal on Facebook, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, okay? Oh, I almost forgot YouTube Shorts. Okay, this is another opportunity for us to take the content that we have in long form and cut it down into something that can be digested quickly by a wider audience. YouTube Shorts is so popular right now, so get your content under a minute, share it to YouTube Shorts too. Okay, what about the editing for these shorter form videos that you're cutting from your longer form videos? Longer form video can do well without a lot of trimmings added to it, okay? Short form video that you're cutting down from that long form and putting on social media needs to be a little bit more exciting in nature. What does that mean? That means quick cuts happening. That means the addition of maybe stickers, GIFs, or emojis. Word overlay is important, whether that be captions or just focusing on a summary of what's being said or hitting the major points that you're trying to make throughout the video with word overlay. Without those additions, it's still good content that you can put on social media, but keeping people's attention for the length of the video really does require some additional editing, shortcuts, overlays, stickers, GIFs. Have fun with it. People want to be entertained. They want to enjoy the content. You've got to really, really make it punchy for social media. One thing you need to make sure that you're considering though when you're editing and getting ready to publish this content on the social platforms is where you're doing all of that editing. It actually makes better sense in some cases to edit this content outside of the platform. For example, if you are uploading a Instagram reel and let's say you want to promote that reel later on, there are things that you cannot add inside of Instagram and still promote that piece of content. For example, you might want to add a GIF as a fun bit of flair to give impact to a certain statement that you're making throughout the video. Well, if you add that GIF as a sticker inside of Instagram, all of a sudden that reel is no longer promotable. So if you're going to add a GIF, you might want to do it outside of the platform before you upload it so that you don't lose the ability to promote that content. Copywritten music is another thing that you might not want to add inside the platform, especially if you want to promote that piece of content. As soon as you've got a copywritten piece of music, added to your reel, you cannot promote it on Instagram. So if you're going to add audio and going to add a music track, you might want to do that outside of the platform, and you might want to try to find something that is not copywritten. Their ability to figure out and find copywritten music and then keep your piece of content from getting the reach that it might otherwise have is pretty advanced. If you're not getting a lot of organic reach and engagement and you really need to rely on promoting your content, just steer clear of using copywritten music and focus on creating value in your content. Here's another thing that you can do to repurpose your long form video. Whenever you're creating longer form video, it's important to get B-roll content. Now, what is B-roll content, okay? I always thought that the B must stand for something like background content or something. No, wrong, it doesn't. B-roll is secondary video footage that you're adding to an overall video. That means that the standard, the priority of the video is considered A-roll, while B-roll is the secondary video footage. For example, when we're shooting a piece of content, I might hand my cell phone to a videographer and say, hey, can you shoot a little bit of B-roll for me so that while I'm recording, we're getting some more kind of candid, casual looks that are behind the scenes of shooting this piece of content. Those clips can often include things like outtakes that will not end up in the full long form video, but actually make really entertaining reels, really entertaining TikToks, entertaining Instagram stories. So consider shooting some of that B-roll with your phone while you're doing long form video so that you have a totally different perspective of the content that you're shooting that actually might fit better on some of the platforms like TikTok and Instagram that focus more on candid type video. Okay, last thing to talk about when we're repurposing content, I want to focus instead of video on written long form content, okay? There's so much you can do with more than 700 word blog or article when you're translating that into social media talk, okay? Number one, you could create an infographic out of it and post that on any of your social media channels. You could create a gallery post on Instagram where maybe you've got an introductory photo and then you can swipe to get more detailed information. That is very popular right now. You might also create multiple slides that can be Instagram stories that are informative. And if you're in Instagram stories, then you can use the link sticker to link back to your original blog post. One more idea for written content is you could actually green screen, like a screenshot of that written piece of content and do a quick video overview of what's included in that blog, okay? So I might screenshot the blog post, add it into Instagram or TikTok with the green screen function, and then have my face in front of the blog post in the background talking about maybe the important key points of that blog post. That's another way to repurpose that long form content that'll work great on social media platforms.